Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing today? This is Dan Henry. I'm the Director of Franchise Development for Get in Shape for Women. I am going to be doing the presentation today in lieu of Brian Cook, who is traveling down to New Jersey to participate in a Discovery Day event in the Newark area. So he will be back, and then you get to enjoy me today. Again, thank you so much for coming to the webinar. Let's get things started. Today we'll start with our webinar focus. The webinar focus today is going to be how to lose 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less, how to turn that passion into a meaningful career, and how to open up your own Get in Shape for Women franchise. So those will be our three major areas of focus, and they'll all tie in together at the end. So let's go. So the first thing we're going to do today is start off with a positive focus. We start off all of our meetings with a positive focus. We picked this up from doing some off-site consulting recently in the last 2 years or so. And what it does is it allows us to start every meeting positively, because we know that positivity and creativity go hand in hand, but negativity and creativity, they can't live in the same mindset. So when you start everything off positive with positive focus, you're going to open up your mind. You're going to be really create a much better environment for your meeting, and you'll open up your mind to learn more. So I'll start. I'll give you a professional and a personal one, and I really suggest you guys doing the same. Please write in your positive focuses to the chat, and we'd love to know what you're going on, or at least tell the people around you who you're listening to this with. So my positive focus today, there's a couple. My professional one is we are doing a Discovery Day event on tomorrow in Newark, New Jersey, really starting to focus on some rapid growth in the New Jersey area. We're almost completely sold out in Massachusetts. We have 9 studios currently in New Jersey, and we're looking to just really grow rapidly in that area, because we know that it's ready to explode. And personally, I just had a really great weekend, just being able to hang out with my wife and kid, get a lot of outdoor time. We got a ton of cleaning around the house done, which is it's just good, because I feel like the remainder of the summer is about to we're gonna blink and it's gonna go away. So please, again, feel free to write in your positive focuses, or at least go through the exercise and say them out loud. The next thing I want to talk about is kind of our vision. And our vision kind of encapsulates three different sections: our purpose, our core values, and our current mission. Again, this is something that we did when we were doing some off-site consulting. Again, Brian and our president, Lou, went out to Arizona, and this is part of the consulting they were doing, is building this vision. So when they told us to write down what is our purpose, everybody has a purpose, but when you put it on paper, it really creates a much more urgency and a lot more. You're putting it in stone, and you're actually defining what your purpose is. What they came up with is 6 simple words: to empower women through body transformation. And that's everything we do. Our entire franchises run on those 6 words. Every decision we make always goes back to, is it going to help empower women through body transformation? The next part was our core values. I'm going to read through these core values, and I'm going to touch a little bit on them, just, some things that are, I like to just throw in there. But these core values are how we run our franchise. We put these core values out to the world, and really everybody who knows know what exactly our core values are. And what it does is it helps to attract the people who are similar to us and who also value the same things that we value. And it also helps to repel the people who don't have the same values as us. And it doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they probably wouldn't fit well into this franchise because they don't believe in the same thing we do. So to go through them real quick, we treat our customers like family. It's really important. Brian always talks about how when he kind of put this together, he went back to at his wedding. When he got married, he owned just one personal training studio, and he invited all of his customers to his wedding. And he did it because he looked at them as much as you would look at them as family. They were his family to him, and that's what we really want. We want you to realize that as a franchisee, you're our family, and we want you to look at your clients as your family, which means that sometimes you have to have hard conversations. Sometimes you're celebrating together. Sometimes you're commiserating together. But everything is always working together, and you have to work as a family. We have passion for health and fitness. I think that goes without saying. I don't think any of us would be in this business if we didn't have it. We believe in the power of positivity. We start every meeting off with that positive focus. We put our positivity out there and realize that that positivity is going to help repel any sort of negativity that comes to us as well. We wow our customers by exceeding expectations. I think a lot of times you hear the same way. We under-promise and we over-deliver is another way of saying this. We want to make sure that all of our customers understand what we're going to be, what they should expect from us, and that we blow their doors off by overdoing it and coming over the top and making sure that this experience is the best experience they can have. We check our egos at the door. And that's difficult. That's a hard one. If you're successful and you've made a good career, it's hard to sometimes remove your own ego. But what also you have to remember is that if you have an ego, that means you already know everything and there's no more learning. So if you can remove your ego, check it at the door, that means that you can now start to learn again. You can learn more information. You can learn from the people you're around, from your clients, from your managers, from your trainers, from yourself, and that's really important. We are continually learning. We devour business books here. We're always checking in the newest thing and to making sure that we're following the latest trends in fitness, but also not getting caught up in the flash in the pan thing. We do book clubs here where, I know right now we're currently reading a new book as a corporate team called Scaling Up to help grow our company and to help all of our franchisees grow as well. We believe in honest, open communication, and that's important. And as a franchisee, it's important for you to be able to have that honest, open communication with your clients, because sometimes it's necessary to have. And for us, it's important to make sure that we're as open as possible with you, and as honest with you, and then we can get past all that stuff and just continue moving forward. We believe accountability leads to success. That's one of our 4 components. We want to hold you accountable. We want you to hold us accountable, and we all want to hold the clients accountable to make sure that if you're not being held accountable, then you're not going to be able to succeed in your goals. And sometimes it's really hard to hold yourself accountable. And we love what we do. I think to kind of go back on a story about myself on this we love what we do is when I was younger in my early 20s, I was lucky enough to come to a realization that I was going to figure out what I was passionate about and then find my career towards my passions. And that's something I always kind of held dear, and I've always followed that. When I first started working here, I remember sitting down in Brian's office right before I started working here and him telling me a story about how he was excited about being a parent because he figured out that all he needed to do is develop his children's passions and then teach them how to monetize it. And to me, that was really exciting because this is the exact same thing I've been doing for the last 10 years of my life. And I knew that it was going to be a great combination to work together with somebody who had the same philosophy as me on that. And our current mission is to open 500 locations by 2024. So just about 9.5 years by developing the best fitness franchise model in the world. It sounds lofty, but we've done the work. We've put together the growth plans. We know how we want to do it. We spent a lot of time and effort on this. Right now, we're at 88 locations in 16 or 17 different states. So We have the work to do, but we put together the growth plans, and we know how we're going to get there. And we really, really hope that you're part of that growth. So body transformation, like I said, powering women through body transformation is what we do. That is that's our sandbox, and that's what we do better than anybody else out there. Now, how do we do it is we use these 4 components. The key towards body transformation is the sum of all these 4 components: weight training, cardio, nutrition, and accountability. Those 4 things, we know if you follow each of those things and you put them together, you will be successful with body transformation. If you pull one of those out, it crumbles on itself. We're not, there's a lot of great workouts models everywhere. There's yoga and there's Pilates, there's CrossFit, and they're all great workouts. We're a transformation model, and you need these 4 components to transform. So we'll start off with weight training. Weight training we do because we know that by building lean muscle, by building lean body mass, it's going to help increase your resting metabolism. So somebody who has 5 pounds of lean body mass, 5 pounds of muscle, are going to burn 200 calories per day. That's like going out and running, 2 miles for somebody else who doesn't have that same lean body mass. So, you're going to be sitting there with the 5 extra pounds of muscle. You're going to be sitting there burning calories while somebody who's not putting on that muscle just has to go out and continue to run to do the same work that you're doing. We also know that strength training helps to increase bone density. It helps to burn calories. So there's a lot of great usage and a lot of great applications for strength training. It's going to help your balance. It's going to help with core strength, which are all important. The next thing is cardio. Our cardio is 25 minutes of high-intensity interval training. So, for example, we'll do a 3-minute steady state, where you're basically running at slightly above comfortable, and after that, you go on for 1 full minute of all-out cardio. So that's an example of what one of our interval workouts would look like. Or we could switch it up to 45 seconds and 2 minutes, or there's all kinds of different ways we can change it up. But that's going to help to burn your calories. It's going to create an afterburn. So when you're done with that workout, you're going to continue to burn calories. It's the most effective way in a short period of time to burn calories, as opposed to going out and running for an hour or 2 hours. You can do that interval work by increasing your heart rate and dropping it back down. It's going to help. It's going to be the most effective way of you burning calories. It's also going to help to increase your HDL and lower your blood pressure. So these are really important things, and especially with a lot of our women who are getting older, those are concerns that we need to start looking at. We have a lot of women who come to us who have cholesterol issues, blood pressure, on blood pressure medication. These are what they're looking to get rid of, and they want to get rid of those medications. They want to lower those numbers, and this is the way we know they can do it. Now, the secret sauce to the model, the thing that is different, that we do different than anybody else out there, is our nutrition. We don't prescribe diets. What we do is almost retrain you how to eat. We take that wow out of eating, and we just say, we're going to put together a blueprint. You're going to put together a blueprint based on these guidelines that we're going to give you. And by doing these 5 things, you're going to lose weight. You're going to help transform, especially when pairing it with the cardio and the strength training. 1,300 to 1,600 calories per day. 100 grams of protein minimum, because we know that if you're eating 100 grams of protein, to get 100 grams of protein inside of 1,300 to 1,600 calories a day, you can't just go out and eat 1,600 calories worth of funnel cake. You're going to have to get some really good protein in there. Plus, the more protein you have, it's going to help to lose the weight as well. 8 to 10 glasses of water, so 64 to 80 ounces of water per day. Eat every 2 to 3 hours, and you have 1 free day. That 1 free day is really important. It's going to, when you're talking with your clients about this, it will put the color back in their face when they see these things. We don't care what you do on your free day. We don't want to know what you do on your free day. But we do know one thing. As your body starts to train, as you start to train your body to eat with the 1,300 calories, 100 grams of protein, and eating every 2 to 3 hours, you're not going to want to you're not going to want to really overindulge in your free day. Maybe your first couple weeks you'll overindulge, but your body will start craving healthier foods. And accountability. Holding you, we help to hold you accountable. How do we do that? We do weekly weigh-ins. Every week you step on the scale, you look at the scale, we get the number, we talk about that number. It's high fives when the weight goes down, and when the weight goes up, it's that honest, open communication again. It's that pulling you aside, being like, hey, what happened? Let's have this conversation. That's going to help increase motivation. And then managing behavior with the blueprint, through with your nutrition blueprint, helping to manage that behavior and making sure that you know your numbers of how many calories a day you had, how much water you had, and how much protein you had. Workout of the week is a way of us is the way that we systematically set up our strength training. So every week for 12 weeks the workout changes, and it goes and then after 12 weeks it goes back to the beginning. But what it does is it mixes things up. It brings in new exercises. It takes away from that boredom of doing the same thing every day. It's a combination of a lot of functional training, stability training, kettlebells, dumbbells. We have some machines, and every week you as a manager or trainer, you'll get this workout of the week to review with your team, and then you'll print off all the pages and you'll put each client through this workout week to week. So that kind of helps us cover how to lose those 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. Next we want to talk about is how to turn this passion for health and fitness into a meaningful career. Now here are the career opportunities that are available inside Get in Shape for Women. There's managers. The manager runs the whole studio. The manager trains the trainers, is the person responsible for the free sessions, fields the phone call. They're the heart and soul. They're the backbone, I should say, more likely. They're the backbone of the whole studio. They make sure everything's running correctly. Now the full-time trainer, the part-time trainer, they're kind of they're the blood. They're the ones who are making sure that all four components are being executed on the 9th degree. It's the very best of their ability. They're making sure that nothing's being left behind. They're the ones who are doing the weigh-ins. They're the ones who are coaching form, who are pushing those ladies and coaching them on cardio, making sure that they're not just sitting there going, sitting at a 3 and then moving to a 5. They should be going, at a 5 and moving to a 7 because they know that they can get there now. And the trainers are the ones who sometimes have to have those hard conversations as well. But at the same token, they're the ones who are high-fiving and slapping 5 when the weight's coming off. Now, how do you apply to become a part of a franchise and turn that and become and start a career with Get in Shape for Women? Go to our website, getinshapeforwomen.com/careers. You'll see this this online form there. You can fill out all the information. Now, the one thing I want to point you to is it says preferred location. You can choose a studio. So if you're around a studio in your area, please feel free to choose that studio. But also what you can do is you can add, there's a part of the drop down is you can add your own location. And what that allows us to see is that if there's talent in certain areas, we can help owners to push and open up in those areas. So if there's talent in San Mateo, California, we'll find a franchisee to go open up in San Mateo, California, because we know that they're going to immediately walk in there with some great management. So fill out those, put your resume, attach your cover letter, and fill out where your preferred location, and we can review all that stuff. Here are our current 88 locations. Here's the 17 states where our current 88 locations are. We don't have each location set out there, but Massachusetts, like I said, almost sold out. We're growing rapidly in New Jersey, and we have some major growth plans and some really exciting things that I'd love to talk to you about, and we will eventually talk about. Get ready for a big explosion of Get in Shape for Women in 2015. So that's how to turn that passion into a meaningful career. So that's where that's how you can start looking forward into management positions and training positions. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is franchise opportunities. Now, this flow chart really kind of gives you an idea of how to look at the franchise startup. Right now, you're on the webinar. Your next step after that is we want to schedule you for an initial phone call. You'll get my information. I'll send off an email today with with a calendar for you to set up an initial phone call. So your initial phone call will be with me. Then we're going to help you get to Discovery Day, and then Discovery Day is where we really lay everything out. It's your opportunity for us to meet you, for you to meet us, but most importantly, it's us to meet you as well, because we want to make sure that you're a good fit for our franchise as well. We don't accept everybody into our program, so we can't accept every franchisee. We want to make sure that you're the perfect fit, and that we know that you're going to be a great situation for our franchise. And then we'll go through territory hold. We'll sign the FDD, and you can see there's everything that we do is all regimented, flow charted, and checklist. And that by doing that, we don't miss anything, and our system works efficiently. Kind of get into our hours of operation a little bit to talk about the actual the running of the studio. Our hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 4 to 8. So we're closed from 12 to 4. That 12 to 4 period is an opportunity for your managers to really get a lot of work done and calling back leads. They're in the studio. They're working really hard to make sure the studio is running. But the training session is 6 a.m. to 12, then 4 to 8. And then Saturdays we do 8 to 12. And then we look at managers typically around 40 to 50 hours per week. We have a full-time trainer of around 40 hours a week, and then a part-time trainer who fills in the remainder of the time. Here's our training options. This is what everything is paid. This is a paid in full model, so you can have an idea of the price per session. The price goes down for the longer they sign up. So they sign up for a 12-month, it's $21 per session. 6 months, it's $26 per session, and 3 months is $31 per session. So you can get an idea also of what that looks like in a paid in full model. Now our startup costs typically range from $50,000 to $200,000, and the reason that is such a kind of a large range is there's a lot of factors that goes into that. We have had landlords in the past who have done the complete build out and just factored it into rent, so there's no capital outlay for the build out. And then we've had some times where the franchisee has to do the full build out. Some franchisees choose to pay all the equipment straight out. Some franchisees will finance it, and we have that opportunity for you to finance it because, being part of a franchise, we get the best pricing and deals from all of our vendors because we can use our economy of scale. So you can see build out anywhere from 0 to 50,000. Additional funds, this is the funds you use to that you want to have on hand as you're going through your upstart period. And then equipment, again, that 16 to 25 is really because if you're financing or if you're paying in full. This is an example of our typical studio expense. I think the only thing that's kind of missing here is your 6% royalty, because that 6% royalty will come on your weekly is a weekly 6% weekly gross revenues. So that's not added in there, but you can kind of get an idea of this is very typical. This is not written in stone, but again, typical for what a average studio would look like for expense-wise. Revenue streams. We have a lot of different revenue streams. New sales or any sale that's coming in the door from generated leads that we generate. Any new clients that are coming in. Upgrades are anybody who we give people the opportunity if they sign up for a 3-month or 6-month package to then upgrade to a 12-month package, and we would give them the same pricing as the 12-month package. So that gives them the ability after 30 days to upgrade that package into a longer term, which we know that most of our clients are probably going to need that longer term in order to be successful with their transformation. Renewals, that's all leads who have gone through their full package term and are up for renewal. So we have somebody who signed up for a full year, they're renewed after the next year, and as long as you're creating that really great transformation. There's no reason for them to ever want to leave. Protein sales, we do protein sales in the studio. We do protein bars and protein powder. So those are just ways of helping to make sure that women have options for getting that 100 grams of protein in. And then athletic clothing line, we're going to start working with some vendors soon to create our own unique Get in Shape for Women clothing line for women to wear, something that's very similar to like a Lululemon, and it will give you, just what it does is it adds another revenue stream, and it also creates brand awareness for us out there, and really comfortable clothing for the women. Now, this is our item 19 is our financial performance representation. This is what we're allowed to put into, what we're allowed to talk about when it comes to making any sort of earnings claim. This is what we put in our FTD. So you can see our item 19 is we had 92 studios open. The studios are open for for more than 1 day. So anything open for greater than 1 day is added into this. And you can see the average monthly revenues were $25.47, and the average monthly operating expenses before manager's salary was $18,454 a month. So the cash flow before a manager's salary was $79,116, and that's just the average. But we also put in our top 10%. And that top 10% is, we want to have a franchisee coming on board this is where they want to be. So that's why we put in there, because we want everybody aiming to be in that top 10. Everybody who comes in as a franchise should be wanting to become a top 10 owner. So their average monthly revenues were $38,904, with their monthly expenses, which tend to be a little bit higher, of $25,666, which is the income before manager salary of $220,56 a year. And you can see we've listed our top 10 studios for 2013. Really great year for a lot of great studios, and they did very, very, very well. So we want to make sure that you're the people, you're aiming for these top 10. These are the people that you should be gunning for. Now, to kind of get into territory selection a little bit, the way we select our territories, we look at a couple different factors, but the two major factors are median income and population. Population, we want a good sized population, because we want to make sure that there is a lot of, if you have 38,000 women, then you know that you have 18,000, I apologize. You have 18,000 potential women in that territory, and you only need 150 to fill your studio. So it just gives you better odds. And we want to make sure we have a high median income. So if you look at like Scarsdale, New York, for example, 122,000, 38,000 median income. So that's how we look at it. We want to make sure that we're putting in a great area that has a great combination of population and median income. Zip-Who is something we use. We suggest you use it as well when you're starting to kind of do that research. What it does is gives you that kind of like that really beginning, it gives you that real kind of beginning numbers of where you want to start looking. How we find location, I have one of the biggest things is we have a great relationship with the brokers throughout the country, constantly getting new updates about new locations. We also use LoopNet and CoStar and Craigslist to make sure that we're constantly connected with real estate brokers, and we're finding the newest places that are opening up. This is an example of something that we've just posted on LoopNet. This is in Great Neck, New York. Great Neck's a phenomenal location right in Long Island. You can see minimal divisible of, or the leasable area of 1,100 square feet. Our studios typically fall into 7 to 1,200 square feet is where we normally see our studios. And we don't want to go much more than 1,200 square feet, because really then you're just paying for extra space that we don't need. We want to keep it tight, create that intimate feeling, and not overuse a bunch of square feet. And then we start digging into, when we find a location, we start digging into the demographics of it. These rings are the 1, 2, and 3 mile rings of the situation around 164 Northern Boulevard in Great Neck. So you can see, you'll get an idea of the population, the median income around the 1, 2, and 3 miles around it. You can see population is phenomenal. This is a 3-mile radius of Great Neck, New York, of that location. 191,000 people in that 3-mile radius, with 8,000 homes making over $200,000 a year. So it's just phenomenal. Median household income of 82, average household income of 115,000. So it's just really, really great numbers, really phenomenal, a really phenomenal location. Here is a sample floor plan. So this is one of the things that will help you with when you find your location. We'll put together, just simple floor plans. We have a bunch already set up, and you can kind of get an idea. Every studio has an office. Every studio has a front desk. Every studio has a restroom. Every studio has 2 treadmills, 2 cross trainers. Every studio has a TRX, 2 dumbbell racks, a kettlebell rack, a lat pull down, a low row, a multi-positional bench, an ab bench, a ab area. So every studio has those things already set up. So we're just going to be able to kind of plug those in, and you're going to get an idea of exactly what to look for, and what, when you walk into that empty space, you'll be able to look and go, oh, this is what my studio will look like. Now, how do we support our franchisees? In my opinion, I've looked through a lot of franchises, and I can't think of any franchises who supports their franchisees more. We're constantly supporting. We do every week. Brian, our CEO, and Lou, our president, are on for a weekly focus call to help you set yourself up for the week. We do franchise school for all new franchisees and all managers. It's a 40-hour, really, really intensive learning experience over a full week period of learning the full effect of Get in Shape for Women. Then there is the weekly new owner calls. That falls into the weekly support calls. The weekly new owner call that's going to help you to kind of distill a lot of that information. There's weekly webinars for sales and body transformation. We have monthly coaching calls. We have quarterly coaching workshops. We have an annual convention. There's so much support that we give our franchisees, because we know that we're only as strong as our franchisees are. So we need to support you to make sure that this brand and Get in Shape for Women stay strong, and we're able to continue our purpose of empowering women through body transformation. We do some things, and one of the big things that we do is some business development coaching. So you can kind of see, like, this is something we really work hard on, and we won't get too much into this, but part of what we do is we want to make sure that you understand that you can grow 10x, and we give part of our coaching is coaching our franchisees to understand that they have the ability to grow 10x, and that everybody who's on board with them has that ability to grow 10x, and that's really, really important for us to push out there. So that's part of what our business development coaching is. This is part of your 10x future. This is the one-time, two-time. If you're looking at, we have everybody fill this out. We fill this out ourselves. Brian filled this out. Our CEO and founder filled this out, and we look at it and say, all right, where are we now? 1x. This is where you are now. You know what your income is. You know how many vacation days you are, what your relationship, what your health is, and we want you to extrapolate that and create that 10 times. And you have to understand that this is an exercise that's so important, because you have the ability to grow 10x. You have that ability. And putting it down, I've done this exercise, and it's scary at times. Writing in the things in the income category, writing in the vacation time category, writing in the relationship family category, it's scary. Especially when I started thinking of having one kid now, 10 times that many kids, 10 kids, and I don't know if I'm ready for that, but it's just it's how you have to retrain your brain and realize that you have that ability, and we really help to coach you through that. These are 12 modules that we help to every week we do a focus call, and we go through each module, and we do this on a rotating quarterly basis. So we'll hit each module through the quarter, and then go back and revisit it to make sure that we're constantly just kind of hammering home how important these things are. And for all new people coming on board, for yourself to kind of relearn these things, these 12 modules we know are what make us successful. This is our system. Our system is fail-proof. And all you need to do is follow the system. So by reviewing these 12 modules every week, we really help to driving home that this is the important way to be successful in this business. Here is a picture of a quarterly meeting, combination of both our managers and trainers. Really great experience. We do a lot of roundtables, we do panel discussions, we do presentations, and again, a lot of it goes back to touching on those 12 modules and driving home the important things to help grow the business. And a lot of that 10X coaching as well. These are some of the awards we give out. Monthly, we give out a first place trophy, and we show the top 10 board. Same thing with quarterly and annually. Annually, we give out more. We give our first place trophy for the franchisee of the year. We also give our multi-unit franchisee of the year. We also give out our most improved franchisee of the year. And we show the top 10 board, and everybody on the top 10 board gets a trophy for top 10 annually. And that's we do that by revenues. Example of our top 10 owners. These really great, hardworking people who know how to follow the system, and they not only are our top 10 owners, but they're people that we go back to help us coach these sessions, to help talk about, and they're the ones who sit on our panels. Those are the ones who are a part of our President's Club. So, speaking to technology a little bit, we use MindBody Online. It is a online support software system service that allows us to track all of our clients, to track our scheduling, to work as a merchant account for us, to run our credit cards through. For lack of a better term, it's a really great CRM, customer relationship management platform for us to use. The other thing we do is, we use Constant Contact as another way of reaching out to our franchisees. So next step, guys, for you is initial phone call. That's me right there. The initial phone call is with me. I'm going to send you some information. I'm going to leave this up for a second for you to be able to write down all my contact information. And please take a look at it. Write it down. You're also going to get an email from me with all this stuff and my calendar for you to schedule your first initial phone call. Our next Discovery Day, guys, is Friday, July 31st. Friday, July 31st from 10 to 3 at our corporate office in Needham, Massachusetts. Really want to get you at this. We can talk more about this on our initial phone call as well. We'll send you some information about this, but make sure you take out your calendar right now, circle that date, put down Get in Shape for Women Discovery Day, and make sure that that is a priority on your list. These are some of our rankings we've used in Entrepreneur. We've been consistently ranked in the top 500 of the Franchise 500 for the last 5 years. That is a feather in our cap that we're very proud of. We've also been consistently ranked in the Inc. 5000, and it's really important for us that those are numbers that we wear with pride. We're very excited about those, and we like to show the fact that this franchise has the ability of making those numbers, and that we're very serious. Here's a group of books that Brian has given us to really. These are books that were very influential on Brian throughout his time of growing. From the time he started his first franchise to the time he started as a master franchisor with another company, to when he opened his first fitness studio by himself at 23 years old when no one else was doing this. These are books that really have been important to him. So, look at Good to Great by Jim Collins. Good is the enemy of great. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where it talks about collecting income producing assets as opposed to not doing that and creating, and that's how you create wealth, is by collecting income producing assets. Unique Ability is part of a group that Brian goes to called Strategic Coach, and that Unique Ability talks about finding out what your unique ability is, and then how to harness unique ability and make it work for you the best, and then surrounding yourself with people who are going to help to support your unique ability and fill in the places where you maybe don't have the talent. Think and Grow Rich is a great book that Brian, I think everybody should read this book. Thoughts Are Things. It goes into really talking about the importance of, your mindset in growing. So It's really great books. Definitely suggest you take a look at these books. So that gets us through our webinar, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time with me today. Like I said, if you have any questions, please, we're going to be able to answer those in the initial phone call. We'll also open up for a little Q&A as well. And please feel free to ask any questions. And like I said, guys, take out your calendars. Circle July 31st. Put down Discovery Day, July 31st. Get in shape for women, high priority. Take out your calendars. Find out what the best time for you to catch up with me on the initial phone call. High priority. Get those things already scheduled, guys. And that's where those are important things. So it looks like we're, I think a lot of people are probably thinking about some questions. So what we can do, guys, is we can plan on answering those questions in your initial phone call. What I want to do now is I want to, before I go over my time, which I know I'm coming close on, the way we end all of our meetings is final thoughts, and it's just kind of a way of really taking a look at what we learned and what was important from this meeting, and kind of like next steps, and really, taking that great nuggets out of these meetings to set ourselves up. So my final thought today is, one thing that I really want to touch about is meaningful work, and that's something I really wish I would have mentioned earlier, and it's something I typically mention, but meaningful work is really important. And to know the idea of doing meaningful work, and not just going to work, but doing really meaningful work is completely different than anything you can ever experience. It's no longer work. It's really important. And that's one thing I really want to leave you with today, is just the idea that knowing that when you come on board as a franchisee or come to work for Great in Shape for Women, that you're going to be doing real, important, meaningful work. And, you'll stop thinking about going to work every day. It will no longer become work for you. It'll just be it'll be just a part of your life. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to leave this slide up for a couple of minutes so you can get a couple of seconds for you to get my information. Thank you so much again. Really look forward to hearing from you, and have a great day. Take care.